So today I'm talking gua sha, a way to create your face. I did say create years younger using an ancient Chinese technique. An exact formula, the gua sha cheek lifting technique that I'm learning and perfecting, but I'm going to give you the formula today. You can create your face years younger. Now this is a follow along video, meaning you can grab your gua sha tool and follow my exact routine. I'll be demonstrating it with mine, and if you don't have your own tool, watch the video so you see what's involved. And not to worry, I'll give you access to my free course as well for the full face and neck. So if beauty is the passport to success, as they say, the one feature you want to focus on is that high cheekbone. I did say create your face because gua sha is a great way to sculpt your face, and it was invented here in Southeast Asia and in China. Here you can see what cheekbone transformation did for Margot Robbie. Here you can see with Sophie Turner, and check out the buccal fat area. Whether some was removed or the cheekbones were brought out dramatically enough that it made it look like there was buccal fat reduction, that can also be designed. Now it's not always great. Look at Renee Zellweger. Sometimes people get carried away, especially in the anterior cheek. Remember, it's the lateral cheek that's beauty, youth, and fertility. Now I know a lot of you don't want fillers, but you want that high cheekbone, because that's what lifts the face. And if you look at people who stay younger longer, you'll notice one common denominator, and that is a high cheekbone. Now this video is also backed by science. At the end, I'll show you some studies for those of you who love to do the deep dive. And no, you don't have to have been born with high cheekbones for this to work. Now here's a mind-blowing stat for you. Over 78% of international models, I did say international ones, have a high cheekbone. That number blew me away. And here's a misconception of gua sha I want to start with, is that it's not about lymphatic drainage, which is what most people think. Gua sha was actually invented for two different reasons. Although lymphatic drainage is certainly a great side effect of it, the first one is fascial release, deep muscle targeting, because gua sha literally means scraping, and it was used first for the body, but then they noticed using it on the face, people did in fact look younger. So that's number one, was the deep muscle and fascial release. And second was to increase microcirculation. Those are the two reasons we do it. And in fact, you can increase microcirculation by over 400% in studies immediately after the technique. And that gets rid of antioxidants, and that helps your what? Most important, fat pads. That's a great side effect of it. Not paying attention to your face fat pads is like grandma misplacing her reading glasses. Suddenly, nothing looks as sharp as it should. So while you do get lymphatic drainage, that's not the main purpose of gua sha. Now, before we move on, I want you to see the cheekbone right here. If you look at this diagram, you can see this is a youthful cheekbone, the actual bone itself. But look over here. Look how you lose that zygomatic arch and you have a decrease in bone. We know that from the rest of the body. But keep in mind with the face, it's unique. It doesn't see resistance. And that's where gua sha comes in. Now, let's look at one more picture. If we look here, you see not only does the bone decrease, but you get almost involution of that bone, retraction of that maxillary area, and we call that maxillary retrusion. Now, if you want to look at the eye socket, you can see it's also widening and turning down. That's the reason that your eyes look tired as we age. I added a step in today's routine to address that as well. You get sagging at under eye hollows, the same things happening at the cheek. You see how complex it is. Remember I mentioned muscle and fascia? Well, pulling of your muscles on the bone, and look here where the muscles attach to the zygoma. When you pull on bone, it creates resistance, and then you get more bone. Now you're seeing why this is so important. I just sat in on a lecture from a Dr. John Joseph at UCLA, where he talked all about this muscle pulling on the face. It's also a reason why when people Botox the face too much, you're going to notice bone resorption. So too much Botox slows the muscle movement, you don't get that pull, and you get an older look. It's because of bone resorption. Gua sha does the opposite. And that's why I'm so excited about this today. Now, I know you're hearing a lot of birds here. I apologize for the noise. I hope you enjoy it, but the birds are enjoying this video too. But you now know intuitively why fillers aren't the option, because they can make you look puffy, they can migrate, and they can move away from where you've placed them and also have an effect on the muscle, the pulling, and the bone. So no fillers today. Now let's start with the exact routine today. And as you know, with my device, you get red, near infrared, and vibration. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you a study on why vibration is so important for your bone and how studies have shown that it can help increase the bone. So vibration's an important part, as are the strokes of gua sha. Step number one, you're going to want to clean your face. That's absolutely key. With gua sha, there is dry gua shaing, but for the purpose of what I do on the face, we're going to use oil as a slip. You guys have all your favorites. I've created my own HydraGlo, which is a combination of oils that you guys on my community page voted as your top oils. I put them together, including rosehip oil, argan, sweet jojoba oil, but I added something that you didn't ask me, and that is squalane. That's an important component, and it helps hydrate, moisturize, and plump. That's why I added it. So that is step number two, applying your oil. Okay, step three, let's start with the gua sha scraping. With my device, you're going to hold the button down for about 2 seconds, and that's going to turn on mode 1. That's vibration only. We're going to go for this routine to step 2. So you press it one more time, and that's going to turn on your red, near infrared, and vibration. So mode 2. I designed this side of the tool specifically for this high cheekbone. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab it. I don't have slip on my face, but you will. And you're going to do, oh, that bird likes this. You're going to do 4 strokes, and you're going to start medially and work laterally, just like that over the cheekbone. 1, 2, I'm doing them much quicker, 3, and 4. And you're going to notice that this notch is what you're going to use, this notch right here, to get the insertion of the muscle below that zygomatic bone. So you can even take that notch and do 2 extra strokes along that lower bone. Not only does it feel great, but again, you're targeting that deep fascia. Now, before we go on to target the 3 most important muscles to lift your mouth and build your cheekbone that no one really ever talks about, I put together a special just for my followers here. For today, only for viewers of this channel, if you want my gua sha device, you get a free HydraGlo oil that I talked about and free access to my 12-chapter full face and neck gua sha course. I'm adding chapters to that course all the time as I learn more and more here in Southeast Asia, all about gua sha, the best practices, and I see the results in all of you guys from commenting below and my clients. Now, step 4, you're going to do a couple things here. And this is the key that's different from anything that I've seen and what I've seen really work in real life, in real patients, and that I learned here in Asia. And that is targeting 3 specific muscles. Number 1, the muscle coming up here, your zygomaticus minor. The middle one, your zygomaticus major, and one that no one talks about, which is your risorius, which goes from the edge of the mouth towards the ear. In fact, that's the one that people get droop with if you Botox the masseter muscle, because a lot of people don't know that muscle exists, the risorius. And when you hit it at the back here at the masseter, it will droop the edge of the mouth. Why is that important? Because today we want to lift the edge of the mouth, not droop it. So we're going to target it. So what you do, we're still in mode 2, and you're going to take your device and you're going to use the beechwood side of it. And you're going to target that whole mid cheek, the whole mid cheek. And in that way, you're getting the zygomaticus minor and major, okay? Red, near infrared, and vibration coming through here. And then you're going to take the edge of the beechwood here, and you're going to start at the edge of the mouth, and you're just going to move laterally. That muscle goes directly back towards the ear on about a 7-degree angle. So just slightly up, and you're going to target that risorius. Now you can do about 4 to 6 strokes in the lower face here. So there's 2 additions to this method. That's the basic method. Number 1 is the under eye rocker method. Now, I told you lymphatic drainage is a good side effect. I told you the under eye bone. I've showed you how that ages. and kind of melts downward. So we want to pay attention to a muscle called the orbicularis oculi. So what you do, you're still in mode 2, vibration, red, near infrared on the beechwood side. And you're just going to rock her, and you're going to rock her from your inside, your medial, to your outside. And that's why you have it as a rocker shape up here. So you take it medially and you rocker it this way. Now, you're not going to rock her back. So you're going to go medially. I'll put my head down a little bit. You're going to go medially, rock her laterally, pick it up, and go again right along that orbital rim. And you can see that. And the reason is you are playing off of lymphatic drainage here. You're moving the lymphatics laterally, and that helps with the puffy under eye. Near infrared gets deeper to the bone. That's why there's not only red and near infrared in here to help your fibroblasts increase their ATP, their energy, and fibroblasts produce collagen and elastin. But near infrared gets deeper to the bone. Let me show you a diagram here so you see before we go on to the final step, which is for bone building along the zygoma. If you look here, you see the broad spectrum of light. You see red and near infrared. Look down here where there's UV light. This is why we use targeted wavelengths, because we don't want the UV light that can cause, in other words, UVA and UVB, that can cause DNA damage, increase sunspots, and increases wrinkling of the skin. That's why some people say, well, just get out into the sun. But that's why we target 630 nanometers and 830 nanometers. And it's why I don't go above 1,000, because that, again, you start to get pigment problems. That's why when you're shopping for your LED mask, don't go for ones with those higher wavelengths, and don't go for those quote unquote laser masks that are high power, so to speak. You're asking for problems and you're asking for pigment. It's all marketing, not results. I digress. You now have the under eye rocker method. And don't worry, I'll answer comments in the questions below. So you're not alone on this. And of course, I have a 12-step free course. I'll link that. But let's go down to the bone area, because I want to show you why I have different modes. This is the last step, and it's a bonus. But your first mode when you turn it on is vibration only. And what you're going to do, if you have bone loss, and you might have had a DEXA scan, you might know you have bone loss, or you have estrogen loss and you see bone changes. So you want to take it in mode 1, vibration only. You want to take this edge here, and you want to spend 30 seconds at the end of your routine on the zygomatic bone. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to slowly scrape, very slowly. And I want you to time this on your phone, because 30 seconds sometimes is longer than you think, but you're going to scrape slowly. And often it's 15 seconds and then 15 seconds, and it's along that bone. That vibration stimulates bone, as evidenced by this study. Before we get to that important study, now if you're getting value from my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Only 38% of you, it was 32%, we're up to 38% of you watching these videos are subscribed. Become part of my family here on this channel. Here's one study on whole body vibration for the treatment of postmenopausal osteoporosis. That's a review article, but I think here's a better one: prevention of postmenopausal bone loss by low magnitude, high frequency mechanical stimuli. This is a clinical trial. And look here, this non-pharmacological, meaning no drug approach, represents a physiologically based means of inhibiting, so stopping the decline in BMD, bone mineral density, that happens after menopause. So there's many articles discussing this, and they all add up in favor of vibration. And that's why I added it to this tool today. So to summarize, you don't want to be chasing fillers to build that high cheekbone. You do want to target your fascia, your muscles, your microcirculation with vibration, specifically in near infrared, to help your bone. You want to follow my step-by-step cleanse, oil, and all the steps I showed you for the gua sha to work on this area, remembering that I have full face protocols for you. It's not just for the cheekbone, but gua sha is used for the full face, the neck, the jawline, and it's very good on the body. It's original intended use. You want to stay tuned here, keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.